I'm special?
Yeah, you're special.
Let's go. I'm going to ask you to do hey, want to go RockCon this week?
No.
Okay, we'll work on it.
All right. Welcome to the 7th ever Offline TV podcast. I am this guy's host, and today I am joined by Ludwig. Hello, Ludwig.
How's it going, Toast? Happy to be here. There's a cat on the set with us.
Yeah.
Listeners. It's just kind of meandering.
Yeah, Somi's just making a mess of the table right now. But Ludwig is super famous superstar, Twitch streamer, YouTube extraordinaire, and chess prodigy. And I'm very glad you could be here with me today. So, Lud, tell me. I didn't hear about you until last year. But
You're going to do me like that? Last year? You know, 2019, I had a couple of hits you surely heard of.
Like what?
You laugh, you lose. You laugh, you lose $100.
Uh-huh.
You lose 1,000 if you laugh.
Are these YouTube videos?
These are YouTube videos that you probably didn't see them then.
No, I haven't seen them.
Sure.
But apparently you came to like an offline TV party like 2-3 years ago.
Oh, dude, I forgot about that. Yeah, I went to a New Year's party. I forget even how I got in. I think it was through Tafikins.
Okay.
And he had invited me. He looked insane. He was wearing bootcut jeans with Yeezys. I roasted him the whole night. But I was at this offline TV party. It must have been New Year's 2018. And I was 200 viewer Andy. You guys were playing Smash. Came in, washed you guys, waxed the group. Nobody stood a chance except for Tafo, son of a bitch. And then that was it. I think I showed Lily a dance move. She followed me on Twitter. I said PogChamp.
Did you said PogChamp out loud?
Oh, yeah. I've had brain rot since 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And that was it was a good time. It was a good time. A couple embarrassing things happened there though. I was trying to say hi to Pokey. Just like breezily.
Casually. You don't.
It's so casual.
Yeah, right.
And then she was in a deep conversation with Bjergsen. And Tafo said, "Hey, Pokey, Ludwig's trying to say hi to you." And I ran out the house. And that was New Year's 2018.
Wow. Great first impression.
Yeah.
So back then you were like 200 viewer Andy.
Just about.
But I would say over the course of the last year, you really became a household name on Twitch. I think at first, was it chess, would you say, that kind of gave you some notoriety, or did you start doing something before that? I
did a Twitch Jeopardy with Schlatt and Call Me Carson, redacted. He's back now, right? And it went well, and I was up to like a 5K, 6K Andy, and then PogChamps hit. They invited me, and not a funny soul on that broadcast. So every time in between breaks, they would just show me in front of 100,000 people, and I was farming LSF clips. And then right after PogChamps, I was a 10K Andy and never looked back.
Wow. And
then Among Us hit.
Right.
Among Us hit. And let me tell you, Toast, you can say this confidently now. There weren't more than 5 people who could rub together 2 brain cells in every lobby. I mean, I felt like I was coasting through those lobbies. You feel like, were you a little disappointed?
That's where we first met.
Yeah.
In Among Us.
Yeah. It was Among Us times.
Yeah, I remember being very impressed by your play, and I sent you a message on Twitter saying, wow, you're pretty good at Among Us.
Well, good at keeping multi-stream open, but yeah.
How was your experience during the whole Among Us era? Because you're like more of a variety kind of guy, and there's this game where it's like, oh, there's 10 people, cloud lobbies. What was your perspective on the whole thing?
It was good. It was like, damn, all I have to do is play this game and I get viewers. Because before I was like, man, I have to develop a content idea and then execute that and form it into a good YouTube video and then try to bring the YouTube viewers over to Twitch. And then it was like, just play Among Us. And then you just get like 20K, 25K viewers. I was like, that's crazy. All right. So I did it for a while. And then I have this thing where I don't like doing something too much. So I quit. And I didn't play for like a little bit. And then I went back because my viewers were going down, and I thought it'd be easy again. And it wasn't. Like it was still popping off, but it's like a top had formed, and it was like, oh no, this is the Toast Saikuno Valkyrie game now. You know, you can go in and be a good supporting cast, okay, but you can't be top dog anymore. And I was like, it taught me a bit. But I got invited to most lobbies, you know, because I was down to throw. Right. I think is what it came down to.
Right. Did it feel like a lot of attention was just centered around like the most popular participants?
Maybe. No, I think, I mean, like for viewers for sure, but I think there's always like moments to be funny and shine. And, you know, I will say one time I remember there was like a lobby of 9. There was one spot open. And me and Corpse, before Corpse was, you know, corn husband as he is today, tried to message to get in. We messaged at the same time.
Oh.
On mine, it said I had messaged first. I screenshotted it, sent it. On his, it said he had sent it first.
Okay.
And I got in over Corpse.
Okay.
That would never happen today. But back in the day, eat shit, Corpse. I fucking owned you. Like, you got owned. Okay?
You mentioned like making YouTube content. I look at your YouTube channel. It's very interesting how you do it. It's all essentially Twitch. Like it happens on your stream first, right? And then your editor cuts it up and then puts it on YouTube. Is that how it works? Yeah, I have 2 full-time editors, and they just pull what I do on Twitch, because the way I stream is based around a video. Like I stream with the intent to make a video from it sometimes. Sometimes I don't. Like today I played Crab Game. It's not a video. It's just me playing Crab Game. Right. But other times I'll be like, all right, boys, we got 10K. Buy whatever you want on eBay. And then we'll open it up, which is like, it's a stream, but very clearly this can be cut up into a YouTube video. There's expositions, there's stakes, there's an ending. So that's how I stream. So they've been around 2 years now. They'll just pull it and edit it. Cool. So you have your own podcast, Ludwig. How do you run that one?
The Yard?
The Yard.
Oh, it was so sick. Okay. Because I took all of my clout and then I went to my roommates and I said, let's do a podcast. And they're talented. They all worked, you know, Beyond the Summit.
Yes.
They all worked there. And I've poached all of them almost from Beyond the Summit to work for me. And for the podcast, I was like, you know, I'm going to give you a deadline of a month. Make the set, make the podcast, make the format, make the Patreon, and let's do it. And all I did was like the marketing of just guiding my viewers to it. But I mean, I think they're all funny, and I think we're funny together. So it was an instant hit. It did way better than I expected. I think it's like a top 10 podcast on Patreon.
Oh, wow.
Which is sick. So it's tight. The goal was to just make my friends rich, and it's working so far.
So you're trying to like create a way for them to participate in content, get paid for it, right? Yeah.
And like it's there, like they earned it, you know what I mean? Like they do the work, they show up, you know, instead of just like me being rich, because no one wants to be like, you know, here's money. You know, like everyone wants to earn it in some fashion. Even if you're MrBeast's friend, you still earn it in some fashion. So, you know, I think my goal is for them to be rich, and I, you know, maybe we'll get there if the podcast doesn't die, or if I don't say the N-word. We could do it right now, Toast. We could kill the pod. We could kill our pod and this pod.
Funny you should mention that. We had a shoot 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I also said, not the N-word, but like the words, the N-word.
Okay, classic.
So now I'm not sure if we decided on cutting all of that out from that video. And
we're still deciding. Yeah.
We're still deciding.
It's topical, yeah.
Worst case, we move over to Signal together. All right. We have a great time over there. Billy doesn't know what we've done yet.
Well, I mean, one of my fears is like if I ever get like super popular, is that people would just start digging up stuff. It's like, hey, remember that thing he said? Like even this, like what we just said, like
yeah.
Like I think they would use this as an example of something. Oh wow, that's a problem with this person, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I always think if you're just like pretty genuine, open, honest, like most people get it. Some people won't. You know, like I've been flamed a bit. I quoted, you know, Prezzo,
no
Twitter guy.
Okay,
he edits for Cold Ones, and he tweeted out one time because he just tweets nonsense. Schlatt is the only good racist. This is a tweet of his.
Okay.
Got like 80,000 likes. Very popular tweet. And in a stream, I had said, because something revolved Schlatt, I said, Schlatt's the only good racist. pause, as said by Prezzo on Twitter. Immediately, a few people were like flaming me on Twitter. And I was like, whatever, they don't get it. Doesn't matter. It was just obviously a reference. But my friend from high school, Evan, texts me when he's at a party in New Mexico 4 weeks later. And he says, bro, what's this about you being racist? And I'm like, what? He's like, I'm at this party and people are saying that you're saying like there's good racists. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be way too long to explain, but it's not how I would phrase that interaction. But it is crazy. Some people will only know you for the negative things you've done.
Right.
Like some people only know you for the positive things you've done. So it is inevitable. You should probably avoid negative things.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like you have to get ahead of these things? Because when you first saw it on Twitter, you probably just wrote it off as just people misreading the situation or missing the context. But it seems like people kept talking and talking. Eventually your friend in New Mexico heard about it. And then like there's this narrative that, oh yeah, you said there are good racists.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, get ahead of it. It's like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do like a whole PR thing. I think it's weird, you know, like I can pull up tweets and be like, hey guys, it's not what I meant. But then if people are like, you pull up the tweet and then you're doxing someone on a, you know, even if it's a public Twitter account, because I've, 200 times the following. So it's all kind of weird and not very set in stone, but I don't know. I just do my best to be honest and genuine. And some people won't fuck with me, but that's fine. I think. I'm just going to do my thing.
Have you been in your fair share of beef? You had a beef with that FaZe guy, right?
Aiden Ross. Not FaZe.
Not FaZe?
Not FaZe. Lives at the FaZe house.
Got it.
So it's a simple slip up, but he's not FaZe. But I did have beef with him. I think we're cool now. I FaceTimed him. We were supposed to hang out actually, doing an IRL stream with Hassan, but he showed up too late because I had to go to another shoot. So I didn't get to meet him. We're still probably going to meet at some point. We're cool now, but that was bad. Like it was good. It was really funny because he was kind of roasting me in the Poggers community. And I was with literally every large streamer at ShitCon. So we were having like a good time of it and, clowning on Keemstar as you do. But the outcome of it was not worth it because it was like so many DMs of people being like, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I'm going to like, sexually assault your girlfriend. And I was like, shit, dude, these are online influencers just doing stupid Twitter beef, but people get really involved.
Yeah. Did you message the principal of like someone who messaged you or something?
Yeah. It's a dude who sent a death threat and he had his high school jersey on. And I was like, cause I love ignoring all DMs. I almost read none of them. But I had read this one because I was looking through because I still get like sponsor DMs on like Instagram. Like that's how I worked with Slim Jim. So they just DM me. And so I saw this and I saw his jersey. I found his school from his jersey in his following list. Super easy to do. And then I found his principal and then I screenshotted it and I sent it to him. And, he shit himself a bit. He was like, dude, that's not me, man. I didn't think you'd read it. He did 80 million ways to backtrack. And I never sent an email to his principal and I never sent the DMs that he had sent me, because surely there's some disciplinary action for what he said. It was really vulgar, but, he's like a dumbass 16-year-old and hopefully he's a little less of a dumbass when he's 17, 18 and on.
Yeah, when you called him out, he just immediately took it all back, said, oh, I didn't mean that. Wow. That's
most people. Like 99% of people, if they flame you and you reply, will back down. It's usually like they're just shouting at a wall and makes them feel good about themselves maybe.
Right.
But most of the time I don't reply. This is just like one where I was like, hey, you can't say shit like that.
Yeah. It's weird being streamers because the barrier between us and our audience is so low. Like they can like flame us, yell at us, say things to us. And they're always surprised when we actually like specifically respond from my experience. Like I get my fair share of negative comments and every time I call it out, the reaction is pretty much the same where they either apologize right away or they double down and flame you even harder.
Yeah.
And it kind of just makes you not want to engage sometimes when they double down. It's just like, what's the point? It's so much easier to just talk at an audience than to an individual.
Yeah, that's 100% right. And it breaks people. Like, William Osmond just dropped a video talking about negative comments. And I think it's like genuinely broken him a bit and made him want to upload less frequently because he gets like a lot of just like hate comments and he's just like making fun videos, crazy inventions or whatever. And, the thing that I do is I'm able to just shut off like that part of my brain that like cares or reads it. So I just don't do those things. Like it can be inconvenient in other ways, like Aiden Ross, when we had beef, I would get mass reported on like TikTok. So all my videos would get banned. Like that's annoying. But like it's still, people get over it after a few weeks. And like day to day, there's negative shit about me all the time, but I don't read it. I just, people don't fuck with me. I think it's fine.
So Ludwig, what makes you interesting to me? You're involved in pretty much every streamer circle, I would say. You're the most, what's the word?
He gets around.
He gets around.
I'm a little salute around these parts, dude. All right, it's not a hole I'm not trying to be in.
Right, like the Austin crew, even like some of the Minecraft kids, like you would play games with.
Yeah.
And of course here at OTV, we also enjoy your presence.
The thing about me, you don't want too much Ludwig, so I got to spread myself around. If I was only hanging out with you guys, you'd be like, this is Ludwig motherfucker. All right, but I come around every 2 weeks. I start saying some crazy shit. You guys are like, Ludwig. And then you're like, I do the same thing. And then I bounce around another group, bing, bang. But I kind of like it that way. It also allows me to do things like the kickball thing, where, no one else, I think, is organizing, unless it's like Twitch directly,
right,
like for a TwitchCon thing, getting OTV, 100 Thieves, and then like the Austin streamers in a room together. I don't think that's common. So I enjoy this power I wield.
Is this something you want to pursue? Because you're not a traditional streamer. You don't play a lot of games. You don't grind your hours. You have like specific content. You have shows like Mogul Money. Are those things things you want to pursue? Yeah.
Ideally, all of my content is like really well planned out, and there's a lot of like highly produced shows, not necessarily game shows. I feel like streamers are pigeonholing themselves because they're like, we got to do a game show, and every streamer's doing a game show. So, but other higher quality things, I don't know. I've been thinking like maybe a late night show. How does that format work on live? And then using the relationships I have to, get the people that I like hanging out with involved in those shows. And that was what I tested with Mogul Money. I was like, how about I mix and match these people and then bring them in Mogul Money and then see how they work together. And it's been great. It's been like, I've been super happy with it. And I don't know why I seem to get along with all these people. I think a bit of it, I think, when you hang out with a new group, you can kind of like feel out the vibe. Be like, okay, this group's like a little less raunchy. Like this group's limits are here. I'm pretty quick at picking that up, which sometimes I get roasted for. Cause I remember I would do like a bunch of OTV Among Us and it'd be like, oh, soft Ludwig, cause it'd be softer. And by soft, it's mostly like saying pussy on Saikuno stream and then farming a lol W. But I was like, I like making everyone comfortable in a group. And I think that's like my main power as a human.
Got it. What would you say is the difference between our group and other streamers then? Like, how do you change your behavior when you hang out with like OTV?
Yeah, I think it's like there's a bigger reaction anytime I say dumb shit. So if I just walk around saying like Yvonne, like sug my balls, or like Saikuno, I'm singing the pussy marijuana song, I get a way bigger reaction than if I were to do that on XQC stream and then they're like, oh, Pepper Pains. So it's like, it's just kind of like feeling out what audiences like. And part of it is also just accepting that you're not main character in the group, but you can be like a sick, supportive character. Because like when I'm with OTV, I'm usually not main character, but I'm just like funny side character, and same thing with like Austin group. And it's just figuring out how you fit there.
Do you want to be a main character?
It sucks. I think, do you think you're funnier in other people's stream than your own?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure when it's on your stream because it's your viewers. And also you kind of feel a little, I feel a little stressed knowing there's so much of my friends being here on my stream for me that I feel the pressure of I need to be really funny. But when it's on someone else's stream, it's like I can just be myself. It doesn't matter how funny I am. It's not my stream, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I like being on other people's stream. I don't like when I have to worry about, okay, what are the viewers at? Is everyone having a good time who's in this? Are the viewers having a good time? Is the show running according to plan? Is this going to end early enough? And instead I'm like, I'm just going to fuck around and have fun. And that's all I have to do. That's my only job, so I can focus on it more. So I'm fine with that.
Do you look at your viewers when you stream, viewer count?
Yeah, constantly.
You have it like open?
Yeah, I have it wide open.
What?
Do you not?
No, that's going to stress you out and make you second guess everything.
I agree, but I also think it's a good barometer, because how else am I supposed to know if people are liking something or not liking something? Like if 5,000 people leave my stream, it's not an accident.
Right.
So I want to know what I did right before that so I can see why that happened. Did I switch games? Did I stop doing a certain thing? Did I start doing something? So I think it's like good info. Sometimes I will say if I'm like fucking shitting the bed in viewers, then I'll hide it. But most of the time I'm like, yeah, I'll rock it.
Got it. Like I'm sure it feels like exciting when that number is going up, but when I was streaming and that number is going down, I just get less and less motivated because I feel like, oh, I'm not on and I'm like having anxiety. Like I need to be funnier. Maybe that's the problem. I just need to be funnier. But I hide my viewer count. And the number one trigger for me is when I'm hiding it and someone comments on it. It's like, hey, why do you only have X amount of viewers? And it's like, wow, that defeats the whole purpose of me hiding the viewer count if you can just say it out loud.
Yeah.
And usually when they say it out loud, it's either really high or really low. And when it's really low, you just feel terrible.
Yeah, that is a feels bad, man.
Yeah. So I'm really surprised you have it open.
Yeah, I think it helps me. Like I played Super Auto Pets today and viewership was like pretty plateaued and like, but I like a good number at like 20K. So I'm like, oh, people like this game. And if I had booted up like Fortnite and then played that and I didn't have it open, I'm sure it would tank to like 15, 14K. And I would like to know that because then I would stop. That's like what would make me stop playing the game.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to play a game that people aren't trying to watch. I don't play games for fun on stream usually.
You just play for content.
Yeah, almost always.
Like Crab Game today.
Like Crab Game. Yeah. And they can also be fun. Like I think having fun is content. But, you know, if it was up to me, I might be playing the entire story of Final Fantasy X because I love that game. But like, damn, would that bleed? That's a tough one.
But some streamers are okay with that nowadays. Ninja, I think, is a great example of someone who just streams his Final Fantasy MMO to
not even he played Final Fantasy X for a day, 1,500 viewers, didn't pick it up again. And I was like, bummer, because I always watch people when they play that game because I love it. And he quit on it. But yeah, he does most of the time just play whatever he wants. I think he's been trending a little bit more towards trying to uptick his momentum. I don't know if you saw his big YouTube change.
I heard he's trying to get back into Fortnite.
He's getting back into Fortnite Live, and then he's also been doing IRL videos on YouTube that are like produced by some group, and it's like a film like, hey, we're trying 20 burgers. You know?
Oh, like YouTube content.
Like YouTube content, rather than just pull it from the stream and it's whatever he's playing.
YouTube content with Ninja. How do you think that will do?
I don't think he'll do well. I think his ships just sailed a bit. I don't know. I don't think he captured the momentum. But like, I don't know. I don't know what his goals are. He's super rich. So it's like whatever makes him happy, I think, at this point. And that's probably a win for him.
Yeah. Do you think I'm someone who's kind of like been through the ups and downs, but Ninja has been through like the really highs. And he came back to Twitch, just said, fuck it, I'm going to stream whatever I want. Stream League of Legends for like a good while as well. And I'm sure all his audience like, where's Fortnite? Where's Fortnite? Where's Fortnite? Give us Fortnite. But now he's getting back into Fortnite. And it makes me think, like, is he trying to, you know, chase that high again, get that drive, or did he just really miss Fortnite?
I'm sure there's a little both. I don't think he like despises it. I don't think he'd do it to himself because it's probably just not worth it. but I'm sure there's also like, hey, let's do well. Or I don't know, maybe he signed a 2-year contract when Mixer ended and wants to make the numbers be higher for another one. Yeah, there's like a bunch of possibilities what it could be. But I'm just shocked he didn't pivot into something that's not him as a personality and an influencer, you know?
Yeah.
I think like pivoting into something where you don't have to personally be successful, but you have like a different business that can be successful is like the smarter move, because like fame and live streaming and YouTube's like very fickle.
Right.
So it's like, you know, like a Poke management company. I'm working on a bidet. I'm trying to be the bidet guy.
Yeah, you were talking about this 6 months ago.
It's a long process. And let me tell you, do you know about the ports, Toast?
I do not know about
Let me tell you about the ports. They're backed up right now, my good sir.
Oh.
Yeah, incoming from China, not very good. All right. Takes like a few months. All right. For them boats to get unloaded. So my bidets are slowed down. I probably won't get them till Q1, Q2 maybe. But I've been working on that.
Is there anything special about your bidets?
There's okay. So I have one that's going to be $50 and then I have one that's going to be 500. And that one's, I mean, it's like, it does everything that a bidet could do to you.
Will I hear your voice when I use it?
I could program that, but I won't for your sake. Cause I don't want it to be like, it'll be my bidet, but it's not going to be like the Ludwig bidet. I want to be like the My Pillow guy without the racism for bidets.
So is there any part of your branding on it? Or is it just like a completely, almost a separate project from your...
Totally separate. You don't have to like, cause then I would imagine it's like, okay, you have a guest over. There's shit in your toilet.
Right.
You're like, oh my God, you should try the bidet when you're in there. If you've never tried one, they're like, okay, dope. And it's like Ludwig's bidet, and it's my face, and they're like, what it? And then you have to explain like, okay, so like, do you know Twitch? Okay, so Ninja, and then you have to go through the whole process and explain who I am first. It's like, no, it's the bidet. This is what you should use to wash your butthole, is my thought, and that's bigger than me.
Yeah, so bidet.
Do you use a bidet?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna change your life, bro.
I'm always worried that the pressure would be so high that it splashes the particles everywhere.
So there's a gauge on it. The gauge is like, it's like a faulty sink where even like the lowest is like an absolute ass blaster. But I'll get you the $500 one, and that has a soft setting.
Got it.
And it's heated water.
I also have hemorrhoids, so I'm very sensitive down there.
You can do heated, low sensitive water.
Okay.
It's like the dream.
And that will clean it perfectly.
I think it's the hemorrhoid dream, honestly. Like I recommended for hemorrhoid Andes.
Going back to, we were talking about Ninja.
Switching off hemorrhoids already?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jeez. Thought that was a segment. It's written down by Broden here.
The hemorrhoid segment?
Yeah. We'll move on.
Where are you in your career? Do you feel like you're just starting your grind, your climb, or do you feel like you're kind of plateauing, chilling?
I think I'm just started. I think like Mogul money as a concept is a great idea. And I think I can do more live streams like that, like a lot more. Like I want to do something like Mogul money weekly or bi-weekly. And that, you know, that always does well, like viewership live. And then also like on VOD, it always gets 1 million views. So that's my end goal. I think I had like a huge peak with like Subathon,
right?
But that's its like own thing. And like, I feel fine about that. And I don't think about like, I don't consider that very real in terms of like, this was my viewership, because it's like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
That's not replicable. And I also don't think my content was good during the Subathon. Like there was no day in the Subathon I'd be like, dude, day 26, you gotta rewatch that. It's like what, me shitting for 5 minutes, then sleeping for 8 hours with my mods talking, and then playing Mario. So it's like, I'm not particularly proud of any of that. And I just want to make things that I'm proud of. And I don't think I'm done doing that.
How was your mental health during the Subathon to stream 30 days straight without a break?
Yeah, it was chill. I've actually had a couple streamers reach out interested in doing Subathons or in the middle of them and be like, man, how'd you do it? And I don't know if my brain's wired wrong, but I had a blast. Like I think I could have done it for 2 months if it wouldn't ruin my relationship forever. You know, I missed like hanging out with friends and miss hanging out with my girlfriend, but it's like, I don't know. It was just fun. I always described it like I lived East Coast. There'd be power outages from ice storms for like a week. And you'd all go to like a friend's house who has a generator for like 6, 7, 8 days. So you could use running water and stuff. And I would love waking up at the friend's house for that whole week and like playing like, Batman Arkham Asylum or Smash or whatever. And that's exactly what it was like, except it was just waking up with like Twitch chat, like all excited that I woke up. So it was fun. It was really fun. I don't think I could do it if I didn't have an end point. Like that's the weird part, is the ambiguity of how long it'll go.
Right.
So once I said a month, I was like, no, a month is easy.
I'm curious, what's your how big is Team Ludwig?
So we're hiring a bunch. We have like 3 new people, but I have 2 companies at the moment. It's like my main company, Mogul Moves, which is all like the stream stuff, the YouTube stuff. And that's like 5, 6 people. And then I have like the merch company where it's like I do my merch and my friend's merch. And that's like probably another 5, 6. So it's probably like 10 people total across both. Yeah.
Wow. 10 people on your team?
Yeah, for like the merch company to run and then everything else. Yeah.
That's crazy. Most streamers just have a personal assistant at most.
And like an editor.
And an editor.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the overhead of most people is crazy. I was talking to a couple YouTubers and they're like, yeah, I'm just sitting on a few million. And I'm like, that's insane. Like I spend already this year, I've spent $1 million on overhead. And that's just like employee salaries and stuff like that. And it'll probably double in a year or 2. And that's not including like spending $16,000 on a wax figure of Jackie Chan, which is what I have to do for stream. So, but I don't know. That's what I like, because I feel like I'm fine.
Do you ever have to explain anything to your accountant?
No, because Slime deals with all that. But I have to explain it to Slime. And sometimes he'd be like, come on, dude. But most of the time he's like, yeah, that's fine. The Pokemon, that got out of hand.
How much did you spend on Pokemon?
It's like 100K. And he was like, dude, like it's cards. And I was like, I like the cards. So that I went a little overboard there. But I think Pokemon Week was cool. So I'm happy with it.
Did you think you got 100K worth of returns on that?
Not from the cards directly. Absolutely not. I'm still waiting to make a video because I unboxed a $20,000 first edition fossil set.
Okay.
And then I got every single card in it graded.
Okay.
And then I want to try to sell them all.
Got it.
Still getting graded. It's been 8 months. It'll happen soon. But when I sell all those, I'll be able to see. I think the actual return will be 5K for the $20,000 box. The return in content probably equals it out. Close. I mean, that's what I say in my head. It's probably not, but
yeah, I always wonder how MrBeast does it, because the amount he spends in his videos is millions. Like he can spend up to $1 million.
Oh, he loses money on most videos.
Really?
He loses money, but very proudly. Like he'll be like, "Man, I spent $2 million to make that," and he'll say that like jovially, like because he's like, "That's cool. I made something happen by like swinging money around, and it was a cool project." And he recoups the money through like gaming and React channel, which are much lower overhead,
right.
And then similar profits because they're able to upload at a higher rate.
Yeah, it's insane when you look at his gaming and React videos. The numbers on it is like 15, 16 million, and his main channel is like 30 million, so about half. Except in his gaming channel, he's playing Minecraft with his 3 buddies and like just yelling at everything, like very like Minecraft YouTube content. It's not really highbrow, high effort, but he can do like 10 of those and not even break a sweat. Whereas like going out, buying an island, filming it with a whole crew, like months of planning would yield just slightly more returns on that.
Yeah. And I think you should view those as basically like a marketing effort, because the gaming videos don't get 15 mil if the island video is not getting 50 mil. And so like you need the island video for the gaming channel to be able to be as big as it is and for people to care about MrBeast. And the gaming channel, I will say, like the React channel's just reacting, but the gaming channel, like he'll do $45,000 Squid Game in Minecraft.
Right.
So he'll like still put money up, but he'll make it all back because it gets so many views.
What's your opinion on platform deals?
Platform deals?
Yeah, with streamers.
In what sense?
Like, Because recently, what was it? Nick Merckx re-signed with Twitch.
Nick Merckx resigned with Twitch. Tim left for YouTube.
Yeah, Tim
Lupo left for YouTube.
Anyone else?
Doc got forced out. Nick A30 switched back from YouTube
to Twitch,
which I think is the first person to do that, to be like a YouTube streamer, then go to Twitch. But I think it's good. I think it's like every time there's a sick deal, I'm like, that makes it better for every other streamer. And there was a period right after Mixer got the big guys and they didn't grow much.
Right.
The quarterly numbers came back and it's like they were up barely anything. And it's like, oh, they blew 100 mil easy. That I was like, oh, like these deals are going to suck. And they did for a while. And that's like, every streamer's already a millionaire, but I'd like to see them still thrive. And there's nothing better than getting a deal from a multi-billion-dollar corp. So I don't know. I think the two platforms like YouTube and Twitch have been like getting more into it recently.
Are you forgetting about someone?
And who could forget about Facebook gaming? Facebook. You want to speak to that?
Well, Facebook is Facebook. They've been picking up a lot of GTA streamers. I think like 3 of them left Twitch to stream on Facebook now. So I think their strategy is trying to capture like that GTA RP audience.
Yeah.
Focus on that.
Which isn't a bad strat if you can get everyone, or if you could just get like the server somehow. I don't know if that's possible. But I think the one thing I don't like about platform deals is I feel like some people take the deal to coast. And it's kind of like what happens in tech companies where they're just resting investing. Basically, like they'll say, Microsoft, if you work here 2 years, you get 1,000 Microsoft stock. Right. So then they just are chilling until that date and then they'll quit. Happens all the time. And I feel like platform deals can be the same way where it's like, okay, hey, we paid you out. You just have to stream these amount of hours. And then they're like, all right, clocking in a work. And they don't put much effort and creativity into making cool things. And then that makes me sad because I'd like for people to do better and make better stuff so that can like elevate the platform and also like me to like make cooler stuff.
Do you think anyone has left Twitch yet that like went to stream on YouTube, that went to stream on Facebook, that would have done it if YouTube or Facebook didn't offer them a big contract? Because Charlie, Moist Critical, recently tweeted like YouTube is on the up and up. Twitch doesn't have the monopoly it thinks it does, which is kind of true. But I think until a big streamer chooses to stream on either YouTube or Facebook without like a pile of money, that's when like people will take notice. But so far, it seems like the only times people have left is a very nice competing offer.
You're right, maybe, but it's also that's a righteous play because you can only switch if your deal ends. Like if you switch to YouTube, you can only do that if your deal with Twitch ended.
Right.
But if your deal with Twitch ended, why not just get the contract? Like if you're planning on going to YouTube, they would pay you probably if you're like a big streamer. So you would only be doing it out of like self-righteousness, which I think is just probably dumb. Just get the deal and then use the capital to make cool stuff. And I also think Charlie's wrong about that. I think that we'll see where things shake up. I think Twitch is kind of lazy with the products they release. It seems like every product's just sucking the life out of viewers for more and more money.
Yeah. Did you see that, what was it, paid boost to promote your channel?
Paid boosts. Yeah, it's just part of their whole strategy to like be more profitable and get more money from the current viewer base. And the only reason they've like tripled in size in the past 18 months, 24 months is because of COVID. COVID doesn't hit, like I think they're struggling much more, but they banked it with COVID, and then all of their products, bits, gifted, leaderboards, hype trains, boost streams, is all just getting more money from the viewers rather than getting smaller streamers noticed or getting more viewers onto the website as a whole. Because like the best strategy for growing on Twitch is still growing on YouTube, TikTok, or another platform.
Right. It's weird when streamers think hey, if I want to be a Twitch streamer, I got to start on Twitch. I got to fire up. I got to sign up, make a Twitch channel, make a name for myself. When it's literally the worst option to become a Twitch streamer is to stream on Twitch first. You have to do something else where you have to become famous first. I think it's pretty, not like easy, but like on TikTok and YouTube, the algorithm is so much better. Like if you make half decent content, it will be noticed because there's a lot of bad content out there. So that when someone does make something good, a lot of people will pick up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, so I had this theory that for YouTube, everyone asks like, what would you do if you started over? Is it luck based is really what it comes down to. And I am of the opinion that like there is a luck aspect, but I think it's also largely skill in creating good content and like marketing it well with good titles and thumbnails. I called MrBeast. He said the same thing. So I gave myself like a challenge. I made a new YouTube channel, 0 subs, none of my face on it. I'm not allowed to use my face or my voice. I use like a Fiverr guy, and I had a whole video made, and like I just kind of whipped it together. And my goal was just to get a couple thousand views, and I got I think like 3,000 in less than a day.
Wow,
which is like, you know, you're not going to live off that, but if you're getting 3,000 views in your first video and 100 plus subscribers, you release a few more of those, like the ball starts rolling, you know, and that doesn't happen on Twitch. No shot. You could make like a $50,000 last person leaves a circle. Probably no one would find it. I mean, maybe if they scroll far enough on just chatting and then like it picks up a bit, but there's no shot it would get the attention that it deserves and that it would get on YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Like if you have no following, because people physically can't find what you're doing. Like it's all ordered by viewer size, so they have to scroll all the way down. And this unfortunately creates this atmosphere of some people call it clout chasing, networking, whatever you want to call it. But one strategy is just meeting the right people, playing with the right people. Another one is just farming LSF, which LSF, for those listening, is a subreddit, which is essentially the hub of all Twitch streamers. Anything a Twitch streamer does that's interesting goes on there. But the problem with the subreddit is that a lot of Twitch streamers kind of treat it as their own personal subreddit, and they read it on stream, and they will kind of, you can't outright say, hey, go upvote my clips. But when you're reacting to a clip and you're laughing or you're like angry at it, and all your viewers get angry because, you know, they're your fans and they go and talk shit or like upvote it, downvote it, whatever, it just creates this echo chamber of, if you looked at LSF, you think there's only 10 Twitch streamers.
Yeah. No, it's 100% just like TMZ of Twitch. And they're very, it feels like more than ever, like younger and larger. And like recently I love Mizzy. It's like super focused on like who he's talking to, who he might be having sex with. It's like, damn, they're like theory crafting. And I don't think it's all of LSF. Like I think most people are like, hey, I finished work. What happened on Twitch today? Yeah. But now what they're getting served is like, here's the tea on your streamer. And it's like, damn, this is just like baby drama alert.
Right.
And so, you know, I profit from it vastly. I think in the past year, there was some stat and I was like the 6th most posted streamer, and I am not the 6th biggest streamer. So, you know, I've farmed that, and I got some viewers from it from PogChamps, but it's definitely not the greatest growth mechanism. And it's crazy that that is a growth mechanism. And that's not like LSS fault. That's more Twitch's fault for not having other ones.
Yeah. I saw yesterday the #1 post was a Twitter picture by Soda Poppin'. Like he flooded his bathtub. Yeah. And that was #1.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny Twitter video, but what the hell does that have to do with live streaming? And you know, how are you supposed to get on LSF if you're not an Austin streamer or, you know, select few LA streamers?
Yeah. It's very hard to break into Twitch streaming and like get into the right crowd.
The stat that was messed up was the leak. You know, the leak came out.
Yeah, the money earnings leak.
Yeah, it was like how much every streamer made over the past 2 years. And it was like, I can't remember the exact number, but the amount of people who were making over like minimum wage was in, I don't know, I don't remember if it was hundreds or thousands. It was either like 500 or like 2,000, something like that. But it's astronomically low for how many people stream.
Right.
Because there's like 4 million people who will try streaming every month. And you're talking like 0.01% of people who can make a living off of it, which is crazy. That's crazy low.
Yeah.
And I used to think that Twitch was like a great platform to try to do content creation full time because you'll get more money for your size. But I don't know if that's the case anymore because I feel like there's way more people who are able to make minimum wage percentage wise, even on like YouTube. But I don't know. I don't know how the numbers shake up.
Have you ever gone to those directories and just keep scrolling down and down and down, seeing what kind of people are streaming to 1 or 0 viewers?
Yeah. I'll go nuts on Russian just chatting, and I'll watch some like they just watch Naruto. Have you ever heard of Russian dubs?
No.
They're terrible. They have it so bad in Russia. So it'll be the Japanese version. You know, it'll be Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto. And then loudly over it will be a Russian guy going, Suka Bliet Sasuke. And it's just both audios. They can't isolate it because they don't get that. And they'll just watch it freely on Twitch. And that's probably my most guilty pleasure content.
And they don't get in trouble, do they?
No, because Twitch doesn't have YouTube's content awareness. So it'd be like a human doing it. And then it's like they could be wrong. So they never, ever file copyright claims unless they are specifically told to do so. So you can get away. I mean, like I used to tell my friend, I won't say who, but huge in anime. He was like a 100 viewer Andy. I was like, just watch anime on stream. Just do it. You probably won't get banned because these companies are not keeping track. They don't care. There's way bigger problems of their content getting stolen. So just watch it on stream, react to it live instead of doing like watch parties. You'll get way more viewers and you'll grow. And if you do get banned, you'll already have grown and the ban will go away in a few days.
And I always think getting banned on Twitch is great marketing, great PR, because it gets
100%.
everyone talking about it.
If it's for good reason.
Yeah, like if you're stomping out a cat and you get banned, that's pretty bad. But I always like welcome being banned for something stupid because it's just, if you have the high ground and you get banned, everyone would sympathize with you. And, you know, when you come back, you get even more viewers.
No one respects copyright holders. No one cares. No one cares about sexual content. All right. Unless it's a woman profiting off of it. You're good, baby.
Future plans. We were talking about this in the living room upstairs. You mentioned wanting to buy some houses.
I'm shopping a couple. I like where I currently am at, but it's speculative at the moment, but I like the idea of like living near my friends and being able to hang out with my friends, but it's also weird to be 30 and then still having roommates.
Right.
So, how do you solve that? And it's like living close by them. So that's my goal. We'll see. It's very speculative at the moment because I did buy my house. So I'm locked to that for at least a little bit. But I'd like to at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that because I also want to buy like houses in a cul-de-sac essentially. And it's just a neighborhood of streamers. You know how like those Vine people, they had like a Vine street and they all lived there.
Yeah.
But like a streamer street. And we all take up a house essentially.
It's hard to do here in LA because just how much capital you need. They're doing it already in Austin. Like Mizkiff lives next to S-Van and I think he has another house that's going to take God knows how long to make because the housing crisis. But eventually they'll have like a decent enough amount of houses that they'll have a few streamers living there. And it would be sick to do that in LA. Because I think the main problem is like there's a lot of streamers in LA. They don't collab offline that much because it's like a 30, 45 minute trek going anywhere.
Yep.
So having a street would be cool with all the problems that would surely come from it. But the drama would only add views.
Drama. We've shied away from drama for the most part. But I remember when I first started streaming and I had like a shipping era where people shipped me with the girls I've interacted with because I'm coming to America,
Yeah.
This kid from Canada only plays Hearthstone all day, nerd, didn't know how to talk to girls.
The Hearthstone bad boy I used to call you.
Exactly. And I come to California and now there's, cute girls that I'm interacting with. So people start shipping and it didn't really hit me at the time, but back then, I think I was peaking 30K viewers during this era, but I didn't think that much of it. Now when I think, oh my God, a 30K viewer stream, that's a poppin' stream.
30K back then was like what XQC is now.
Yeah.
Like that was the top.
But when I was going through it, it's just like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know, people paying attention, and the views were nice, and it's like a rush. But after it happened, it's just, I don't know. It was a weird feeling because I felt like I was on a reality TV show almost.
Yeah, I remember that because I was mostly a viewer. I was not like interacting with any big streamers at all. But I remember a lot of people had the feeling like who weren't OTV viewers, but knew of OTV. You know, people who hang out in an LSF crowd be like, you know, all they do is ship. They're like ship baiting, relationship baiting, all that. And I think there was like a period of that, and it ended pretty hard. I think the final nail in it was, you know, well, I guess the redacted.
Which one?
True. But are you happy that's kind of over now? Because it doesn't feel like that happens much. And for what it's worth, that still happens. Like that shipping stuff, it's happening with like Mizkif and Austin people now.
Right.
Interestingly enough.
But LSF is okay with that because it's their favorite streamers doing it.
I know. You know what? I think it's just LSF's younger. I think back in the day, it was like an older crowd of people because like Reddit's generally older. And then now it's like there's 1+ million people on that Reddit. Like there's a bunch of Zoomers. It's like high schoolers mostly, you know, like I think OTV's audience, because OTV's old in like internet years, they're like getting older. You know what I mean? Like there's still a large young audience, but you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's something I guess you deal with maybe in like your subreddits, like OTV subreddits. Are they like still shipping? Is that something that still happens frequently? Or?
No, they kind of did a 180 after everyone kind of shut it down to a point where any implication just gets you instantly downvoted.
Right.
Even if it's just actually like a pretty reasonable discussion. Or they're picking up on something. If you mention anything like that, people kind of jump on you for it.
They'll be like, that's against their boundaries, guys.
Yeah, like they would speak for us.
Which is a better thing than the opposite, I imagine. Yeah. Although maybe worse for viewership and marketing.
Yeah, I like, it's good content. Like stuff like, it's like reality TV, will they, won't they kind of stuff.
I love dating shows. I used to watch this one called Are You the One? It was like where they all filled out a quiz and it would show your soulmate. Be like 10 boys and 10 girls, and they had to pair with their soulmate. And then every episode, it would be like, that's your soulmate or no. And by the end of it, they all needed to find it after like 10 episodes, and they'd get like $1 million. And it was sick. But, you know, it's weirder when it's also your real life forever in your job.
I think that's what makes it so intriguing to watch.
Because it's very real.
It's like, this is real. It's not a TV show. Like when Maya and Mizkif was being shipped together, and it's like it actually happened, and everyone was like really invested in their relationship as viewers. Yeah. Or when I went through mine, it's like it was a real thing. We dated for 2 years. So I think that's what makes it so appealing when you see a streamer go through it. It's like, wow, these random people that I watch on the internet can actually get together, be in a relationship, and I'm watching it all from the sidelines. It's I probably would never go through that again.
You do secret relationship?
Yeah. Sometimes I do things like, what's the craziest thing you can do? And my thought was, you get a house and fill it up with 4 girls, and you live in that house, and they're all single.
They're all single.
They all
and they're cute.
And they're cute. And then it's just this constant like, oh, what's going on? Like, who is he going to choose?
You know what this is? This is called Playboy, actually, Toast.
Really?
Hugh Hefner did this for quite a while. And it ends with you being 85 and having sex with young women. So it's not a bad path.
But I think with that one, there's this implication of, you know, why did a girl sleep with Hugh Hefner?
I think Hugh Daddy just treated him right. And also probably it set them for life in some way, I imagine.
Yeah. Well, the viewers won't like that because the viewers want like genuine relationships.
Yeah, so you do that, and then every month you have a different guy come over, and he lives at the house. You know, so it's like Hassan month. It's like, ooh, what happens when Hassan enters the arena?
Got it.
You know, and then you do that.
That's the title right there. The arena.
The arena, and then and you're fighting with love.
Are the girls the same? Am I competing with
You
Hassan?
rotate every season, but you change the guys every month. Oh, just basically your house is The Bachelor, but with 2 guys. Or it's just you and it's The Bachelor, and you just have different girls. And then like chat votes off the girls.
But at the same time, what kind of girl would want to go on a show like that?
One who's looking for maybe 2,000 viewers. You know, the same guys that would go on the opposite version. Pokey in a house. 5 guys.
Right.
I can tell you 5 guys off the top of my head who jump in that house, take the viewer boost, and then try to betroth Pokey Main. Got it. So, there's people out there, man. All right. We're not above it. Us laymen. Okay. We're just trying to get somewhere in the world.
I think a show like that, well, not a show, but like a setup like that would be really popular on Twitch.
It would be wildly popular. I think the optics around treating humans that poorly is kind of weird. And so you would have to deal with a lot of backlash of that. And I imagine the people who don't have the thing in their head to say like, maybe this is a bad idea, are also good at making content. I imagine they're bad. So I don't think you'll ever get the right mixture of like that little bit of psychopath, but then also like funny and good at content to make it actually happen. But maybe you do. Maybe you do.
I don't know. I mean, it's something that you can only do when you're young.
Yeah.
Like when you're old and you put together a house and fill it up with female streamers and you live with it, that's kind of creepy. Yeah,
there's a cutoff. It's probably 35, But at the end of the day, you can also just keep increasing the age of the people you invite. And then it's, you could be 55, bringing 45-year-old honeys to the crib. Call it the MILF arena. All right. Big dog fighting these mamas.
Would these MILFs be streaming? Because part of the appeal is that they're streamers.
Are you streaming at 55, at 45? You go live?
No, probably 35 is where
You cut off?
Yeah.
Hard, cold turkey. 36, you don't go live.
I like to think I would have found something more fulfilling than streaming by 35.
But you're not like, we'll do this for the month, like one a month, like the, Rainn Wilson type beat.
Streaming is, it's a grind. Like you gotta keep up. I can't imagine like streaming whenever because you feel like it. You're either a streamer.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you don't stream.
You're either all in or not at all.
Yeah.
Or Tommy in it. The 3. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't think I'm streaming that late either. I'm already getting roasted. I have this new YouTube channel where I do advice stuff. I get like emails from viewers. One of the guys, wasn't even advice. I read the whole fucking thing out of pocket. He was like, yo, watch you all the time, man. So glad I can talk to you here. Now, my sister always calls me cringe for watching you. And I had this exact conversation. He has quotes and stuff. He's like, so I said, hey, why don't you watch Ludwig? And then she replied, he just feels like an old boomer trying to fit in with young kids. And it's weird and cringe. And then he was like, fair enough. And then that was the end of the email. I was like, what is my takeaway here? So I'm 26 and already getting that flack. 36.
Yeah, 26 is considered boomer in this day and age because of, I feel like it's a lot of the Minecraft viewers and they're like super young. And 26 is boomer to them. Whereas like when we were growing up, we were the ones calling the older generation boomers, but now we're getting called boomers. And it's only been, I sort of got 3 years since that was happening.
Yeah, literally 3 to 5 years. And that's it. And it's switched.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, all Tommy and its fault.
Yeah. Speaking of viewer questions, we also do a viewer segment here.
A little viewer segment, all right.
And since you're such an expert on advice giving, maybe you can help this guy out.
Hit me with it.
From White Lotus, these are from our subreddit thread. What's something you want to talk about / get nerdy about, but feel like you can't because it's off-brand or not good content for you?
I think, I don't know if you feel the same. As a streamer, you talk so much, 120, 60, 70 hours a month. You don't really hold back on something you're super passionate about. And I also got a podcast. So it's like, if there's something I wouldn't talk about on stream, I also am trying constantly to find stuff on the podcast to talk about. So I don't know if I have something super nerdy that I don't feel like talking about, but maybe something off brand is my hobby of popping an edible and then watching anime. And, I would love to get into all the anime I've watched, but it's like 1, spoilers, 2, weebs get out, and 3, like such a tired thing to talk about. So probably that.
Anime?
Yeah.
Do you remember the things you watch when you take an edible?
So if I like the show, I will never get high ever and watch it. But sometimes like I had this thought, and this is why I started taking edibles, and it's like not that frequently. It's like, a couple times a month or something. But I'll watch I watched Spirited Away. I watched the rest of the Ghibli movies after, but I watched Spirited Away first.
Right.
Watched it when I was young. And I was like, damn, all these other Ghibli movies blow compared to Spirited Away. Because they all feel like a random part of a story that is incomplete in some fashion. Few exceptions, Princess Mononoke, others. But like Kiki's Delivery Service, that girl didn't do shit. She delivered 3 packages. And then I was like, I did it. And I was like, fuck you do. All right. So I was so sad feeling that I had already watched the best thing the studio will make. So now if there's like a really good movie, sometimes I'll pop an edible, I'll watch it, and then occasionally I'll be like, I don't remember fuck all that happened. And I get to rewatch it, which is one of the great things that people always think is like, oh, if you could rewatch one movie once, what would it be? And that's the secret to do it.
Okay.
Do drugs is what I'm trying to tell you, White Lotus. Thanks for asking.
For me, things nerdy about. I feel it's hard for me to talk about things that are a little older. Like when I talk about
investments.
Investments, pop culture from like the 90s. Like even talk about like stuff like Dave Chappelle, Eddie Murphy. Nowadays, I swear, my audience, half of them won't get it anymore.
Yeah. It'd actually be a great stream though if you hop on and you just watch the stand-up sets, but maybe then some don't age well. Then it's like, oh, this is cringe.
Right.
So yeah, that is hard. I agree. And then investing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pocket of people who would love to hear that. And I think that goes with like everything. There's always a pocket of people who would love to hear that. And then there's other people who's like, shut up, millionaire. We don't care. So it's like a 50-50.
Yeah. I like talking about like things I'm really familiar with or grew up with, but because the audience is so wide and young, I kind of just default to talking about like very general stuff. Even like comic book stuff, Marvel movies, for example. Like I would only stick with like the Avengers. I won't talk about the comic book characters because I feel like people just don't understand, and there's just like, okay, streamer, whatever you say, just go react to some content essentially. So I find it hard to share my passions with the internet because at the end of the day, not a lot of people care that much specifically about like certain things. So it's just better to play video games, react to YouTube videos, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think to an extent you're right. So in your heart, you're like Ren and Stimpy, but out your mouth, you're like Squid Game. Hey. That's crazy.
Yeah, Squid Game.
All Guys is like Squid Game.
Like specific SpongeBob episodes that like if you understand, he's fucking hilarious. He's saying like I vibe with that, but that's gonna be such a small segment of the audience that it's not worth it.
It's always actually good to throw those out there. If you have maybe like a drive-by reference rather than like, hey, let's sit down and chat about that episode. Yeah. But if you do like a drive-by, my roommate Slime loves doing this. He'll do the most obscure references because some people will pick up on it and then they'll love you forever because they're like, I also love that somewhat obscure thing.
Right.
So you can connect if you do that, you know? Like if you say like hybrid animals, like 15 people will get what that means, but they'll be like, okay, now I'm with this guy.
What's hybrid animal?
Bad for the earth. That's what I'll tell you. We'll get into it off. Okay. It's not a podcast. This is going to get deep.
Okay. Next question. Second question. Kira Queen, how do you make friends in your adult years and maintain friendships? As I grew older, my friends and I grew apart. I've met new friends, but it's hard to recapture the closeness I felt with my old friends. Do you make new friends?
I think I do. It depends what you define as friendship. I think they're definitely not as deep as older friendships because a lot of them are like based around streaming, and that's like fickle in its own right. If I stopped streaming, like would I still talk to a lot of people? You talked about this. And I don't know what that answer is. So I don't know if I like trust that as much. And a lot of it is like mutual admiration. You know, like I like the guys at Trash Taste and, you know, they like me, but is that friendship? Will it be friendship if we hang out? I don't know.
Right.
But the one thing I always have is Super Smash Brothers Melee, which is like, it's like a worldwide community. And even without my like platform, audience or whatever, I felt comfortable 4 years ago that I could be in any city, like major city in the world, and I'd like know somebody there that likes this game and I could like be friends with them. So that's what I have. So that's what I do is like be in some community and then that's where you gain friendships. I don't know about you.
Have you made any friends in the last couple of years that wasn't because of streaming or streaming related? Like just some random person you met at
Yeah, this week.
Oh.
I went rock climbing a few days ago. I've been going pretty often, just doing bouldering. And I met this guy named Jacob, who's just like a monkey on the wall. He's just like swimming through air. And we just shot the shit a bit. And I don't think he knows who the fuck I was because I can usually tell. And then he was like, yo, we're going outdoor climbing if you want to come. And I was like, yeah. And it's like, you know, it's a very casual thing, but.
You just agreed to go climbing with this person you met?
Yeah, because he's a really good climber.
Wow.
You can't like, if you're gonna be like a creepy guy who's gonna hurt you and you spend 4 years getting that good at climbing, you've earned it, you know, like kidnap me, please. And then show me how to do a V7. But that's like, not that much though, I will say. Most of it's like through streaming, mutual admiration and those types of things. Have you made friends?
Yeah, but all of that was through streaming, like being a content creator. Like everyone here are my friends, but I've only met them because I was a streamer. Can't remember the last time I became friends with anyone that wasn't related in the streaming space.
Go rock climbing.
I don't want to make friends with rock climbers.
They're good people.
I will.
A bit smelly. Admittedly, like smashers, but they get it by.
I think my thing is I would want them to kind of know who I am is the thing.
Why?
Because I have insecurities. And by knowing that they know who I am, I feel more confident in myself.
You can be toast.
Yeah.
Not disguised.
Yes, exactly. Like
write that down, Broden.
They will have at least some level of like, this guy's not weird or like this guy's cool because he's famous or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that can make some sense. I like striking up conversation if I feel like there's a tension to create conversation. Like I'll break that quickly. So like I've come into situations much more frequently recently through rock climbing. Before it was Melee, where I will be next to someone who I don't know. And like occasionally I'll start a conversation and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm the fucking weirdo. Like, all right, whatever. Right. You know, but I can see that. I can get that. To answer your question though, Kira, I would say a community like rock climbing, like Melee, or like being a fan of something. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a bunch of people who have created what I will think is lifelong friendships from my community as a viewer. Like they're both viewers. They watch me. They started talking in pre-chat. They hang out a bunch. They get on Discord calls. They play games together. They're like friends now. They're like real friends. And like they won't be friends with my bitch ass, but they'll be friends with each other, you know? And that's tight too. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's definitely hard to make friends as an adult, especially if you're someone who don't go out or who don't say yes to a lot of things. Like a lot of people ask me to do stuff. And one thing I notice is my default answer is always no. It's like, hey,
Really?
Yeah. Do you want to go drinking?
I'm lucky then. You're asking you something. You're like, for you, Ludwig, anything.
Yeah, for you, Ludwig.
And I read that and I'm like, I don't know if that guy says that to everything. Does he say no to a lot of people?
Yes.
I'm special?
Yeah, you're special.
Let's go. I'm going to ask you to do hey, want to go RockCon this week?
No.
Okay, we'll work on it. Maybe next year.
If it's content, I'll do it. That's kind of how like I see social interactions.
Sure.
For some reason.
No, I think that's fair. I don't hang out with streamers offline fully a lot. Like shit camp, obviously, but that's because there was the online aspect.
Right.
If they're like, hey, let's do a weekend getaway, no streams, I still might do it because that sounds kind of fucking fun. But most of the time, like Hassan will be like, dude, let's go out. And it's like, I don't do that. What do you want from me? Okay, I stay inside, relax.
Right.
Okay, I get you think I'm good looking. I'm going to play video games. So I'm with you in that aspect.
Yeah. Streamers don't really hang out just to hang out for the most part. Unless they are like already really close friends or live together, but I don't hit up like anyone outside of the bubble. It's like, hey, do you want to chill? And it sounds nice, but I always feel like it almost feels weird that you're hanging out without any purpose.
Yeah, I think there's like, I like it in a sense because it's like, hey, what's this dude like offline? You know, like I had a coincidental lunch with Michael. We had both been booked for the same time slot for a podcast because they just screwed it up.
Right.
And I was like, you know, let's just get lunch together. And like, they had had a third guy and it's like, I'll let him do the 2-hour podcast. We'll get lunch. So we hung out for a couple hours, unplanned. And it was super nice. And it's like, I don't think I would know who Michael is without that. If we had only ever done like stream together and it was just him going like, dig, build in like whatever Minecraft server we're on.
Right. Yeah. Like Michael's very different from his online persona. Like in person, he's very like articulate, but you would have never known that if you didn't randomly run into him.
Yeah.
So.
And he just says he's allergic to stuff. He just says that.
Yeah.
Like haphazardly. It's not true. He just said like, can't be allergic to the door, Michael. You just ask me to open it if you want.
So yeah, really hard to make friends. Listen to Ludwig, find some common ground or
community.
Community.
Okay. Otherwise known as tribes theory. Look it up. Find your tribe.
And remember that we'll be answering viewer questions every week. Leave your questions in the subreddit thread.
We got to hit this.
Of course, we can never
miss that, dude.
This is if there's one thing we must hit on every podcast.
Can I leak this? I'm looking at this paper and it says Shang-Chi segment. Okay, I don't go to a lot of podcasts. Actually, I do go on a lot of podcasts. I go on podcasts every week, sometimes like 5 times, 6 times a month. Never had a Shang-Chi segment. Right. So I'm excited. Hit me with it. What's the Shang-Chi segment?
The Shang-Chi segment is...
It's Shang-Chi time, everybody.
Oh yeah, Roden, we're getting a jingle for that, right?
A jingle for that.
The Shang-Chi segment. It's essentially a weekly update about my goal to being Shang-Chi 2.
Oh, okay. Talk to me. What's happened?
Nothing at all.
Okay, why does it say updates then? Can we...
Yeah, well, I mean...
That's not what an update
nothing
is.
happening is also an update in itself.
I wouldn't say that.
It's like, oh, did you start on that project? No. It's like, well, now I know you didn't start on the project yet.
But like, if you had a package you were waiting for and then FedEx sent you an update and it's like, we haven't done anything. Would you be like, okay, thanks, FedEx? You'd
be like, you wouldn't have that expectation. That
sure. Okay. Yeah. No, it's a good point. Nothing's happened yet.
You've been acting. You've been practicing some acting.
Can you hit me with a line? What role do you see yourself as?
Well, realistically, just an
Shang-Chi
extra.
himself.
No. Well, I knew he needs to be canceled.
Sure.
For that to happen.
Okay.
which Simu Liu, I'm a big supporter. But if he gets canceled, I'm gunning for his
Are there
job.
baristas in it? Could you be a barista?
Okay. So what kind of role would you want to play? Because would you want to be, like, let's say you got offered a role in a Marvel movie.
You're talking to Bellboy. Okay, you should know. Okay, goddamn, I love a small talking role. I may open a door efficiently. Have a good day, Shang. I call him that. We're close. That'd be like my line. Let's just I'll be Shang-Chi. You'll be a barista. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Hey, can I get a coffee?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm not sold necessarily. If I was at Starbucks and they said yeah, I'd be like what do you? But we're close. We're getting there. Update of the day. Toast acting skills +1.
We've been doing some skits for our offline TV videos. But that's about all the acting I've done. And we've been trying to get Aquafina on the podcast. She's in Shang-Chi too.
She is in Shang-Chi.
So
I like her.
Last week we said we made contact. And this week the update is they haven't replied yet. And probably won't until 2022.
Well, they replied and said more like 2022.
Oh, okay, perfect.
That's a good update then.
That means they read the message.
That's not a no. Have you tried reaching out to her directly? Does she follow any streamer? I'm going to look if...
I feel like she's too famous for that now, right?
No, she's just a human, all right? Humans like stuff. They don't have to be that, I'm going to check. Does Aquafina follow me? Okay, maybe she likes my Subathon.
Let's check out her following list.
Does she have a...
Okay, she's following 950 people.
That's not that much, know?
The last time she used that account was 2019.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah,
she's an Instagram Andy.
Yeah, is she active on Instagram?
She's just an actress now and not... Yeah, oh, she's big on Insta. 2 milli follows 1,300 people. Yo,
1,300. That's a bad sign.
Wanna hang out sometime? Oh, that's a weird. I don't know how to intro this. I'll just say yo. Keep it breezy. All right, I'm gonna try my best, man. I said yo. That's the update of the week. Ludwig involved on the chase to get Toast and Shang-Chi.
Do you have any dreams of being in a movie?
I think so, but my aspirations would be like, let's make a movie. Then you make a movie. Let me tell you, Toast, you're in it.
Okay,
because you made it.
Would you be like the main character? Because have you seen influencer movies?
Oh yeah, baby, Logan Paul on that plane.
Right.
Shh, nothing better than that. I would say that's not my goal. And if I felt like I was not capable of fulfilling a role, I would not try to fulfill it. And I'm comfortable not being the main guy. Like we talked about. So, but I can still be in it.
Right.
Serving up some coffees or whatever.
You did a good job acting in that Coinbase commercial. I thought that was really well done.
Coinbase?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's been fun. We have a few more of those coming. Probably going to do sketches more often 2022 that are all sponsored. So, build a little resume, a little here, a little there. Maybe slight myself or spot myself in a little movie. We'll see. Figure it out. If Among Us came out a year earlier, I'm in Free Guy. That's all I'm saying. All right.
And if you ever make a movie, can I be in it?
100%.
Thank you.
Need a barista. Only one guy for the job.
You're going to give me the barista role.
Well, bellboy's taken.
All right. That wraps it up. Thank you so much, Lud, for coming on this podcast. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah.
I know you live really far away. And I know that because when you asked me to do, what was it, Mogul Money? And I was like, oh, you told me. This guy told me, oh, yeah, it's in LA. I'm like, oh, I live in LA.
LA County.
Yeah. And I look at the time to travel, it was 1 hour. I'm like, that's...
You want to get someone to do something? You say yo first. They have to reply to yo. Then you tell them what you want. Then they'll reply because they were already there. Then you tell them after they said yes where it is. Okay? It's the 3-step Ludwig plan. Bit of scams here and there. Still worked out great. Great app.
Yeah, it worked.
2.6 mil on YouTube. Can't get mad at that.
Yeah, I can't get mad because you also come that far when we do our shoots. I'm like, look, if he's traveling this far to do our shoots, I can travel the same distance.
We're selfless lovers. So I would be so good in the MILF house together.
No, I'm gonna be the only guy in the MILF house. He can't
Just
be there.
consider.
No. There's only room for one dude. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Please check out Ludwig's content. You guys can find him on YouTube, Ludwig, Twitch, Ludwig. It's all Ludwigs, right?
Just Ludwig, yeah.
Just Ludwig.
There's not that many Ludwigs to compete with.
Not at all. Beethoven Ludwig?
He dropped a new track recently, so that's kind of biting my flow.
Yeah, it's
but
gonna hurt that SEO, huh?
it hurts it a bit, but I'm vibing out here.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.